Hey guys, it is Almighty here with another Guild Wars 2 PvP guide. This one is Mesmer Phaser Tree on the map Legacy of the Foefire. I did Forest last, so watch that one first, because I've also got some commentary in that anyway. But for this one, I'm going to try and do it fast to keep the video shorter, but still provide the same level of thorough explanation of how to do each jump. For this one, on Waterfall, you stand pretty much exactly here. You walk going directly into the wall up there, and you're about 600 units away from it. There are no markers for me to tell you where to stand other than just stand right here. Again, you should practice all these while running. The next one is over here, and you get up on this rock, and it buys you some time. For this one, I like to use this white dot, which kind of stands out in the middle of the blackness, as my indicator. Once you get near the white dot, you about face and you phaser tree, like so. Alright, next two spots. Actually, I'll go over this in case you don't know. This isn't a phaser tree spot, but it's a useful kite. You can walk in here, jump on top of box A, jump on top of box B, dodge jump onto this rock, jump on top of the tent, and then jump up here. You could even go back over here, I think. Yep. This is useful if you need to get out, again, because people who are chasing you and jumping cannot jump, and attack at the same time. Okay, so the next one, or there's two over here. One to get up on this landing, one to get up on this landing. For this one, there's this white patch over here. You stand at the edge closest to Waterfall, the white patch. It's really forgiving, so as long as you're anywhere along this line where I'm standing, you're going to make it. Like that. Additionally, there's this landing over here. I use these flowers, this middle row of flowers. So there's flowers here, there's middle flowers, and there's flowers closest to the wall. The middle row of flowers is a good estimator or good guideline of how to get up there. This one is also really forgiving, so like really as long as you're anywhere around these flowers, the middle row of flowers, you're in good distance. And it doesn't really matter where you aim. Like you could do it even from this side where there are no flowers, I think. Yeah. This next one over here is super useful. If someone's chasing you, you can like run over here and then do this, and like most of the time they jump off, but then you could just jump back up. Additionally, you can come down here and get here and dodge jump over there and then get back up. Third, you can like do regular jumps in case you're not good at dodge jump and then get up here. But if you're a Mesmer, you phaser tree and you use this black crevice. That black little crack in the road. You stand right above it. And that gets you directly up top. Yeah, like, it's hard to see, but once you get an eye for it, this crevice, you really never forget where it is. And you can come out and just phaser tree right in front of it, and you're good. Practice that one while running. This one's also really forgiving, so you could do it like from over here, you could do it like from over here, as long as you're pretty much a foot in front of the crevice. The next ones are on Graveyard. You can get from Tier 1, which is the floor of Graveyard, to Tier 2, which is these landings. Run into the landing the way that the landing is facing, and you'll get up on top of it. It also works with this landing, and it works with these two landings. I'll show you in a second. Walk directly into the way that they're facing. I don't find these very useful. The only time I ever do them is if I'm actually fighting someone on point, and I naturally align myself with the way the person is facing, so that the phasal tree will do it for me in mid-combat. I never use going from Tier 1 to Tier 2 as a disengage mechanic. It's not very useful. What's more useful is for you to go from Tier 1 to Tier 3. For this one, what you've got to do is hug the wall right here. Like stick to it and follow it going forward. That will get you directly up onto the top. This one works 100% of the time. If you hug the wall and stick left, like, you're going to make it. Sometimes people come into this one at a diagonal angle. That works a lot of the time, but it isn't foolproof, because often the distance, I'll show you an example, the distance isn't enough to clear you all the way up. For this side, it's the opposite case. If you walk into it at a diagonal angle, you're going to make it most of the time, or all the time, really. However, if you walk into this one by hugging the wall, which is what you would do on the other one, it doesn't work. I'll show you it not working. Yeah, that's how you mess up. You mess up by hugging the wall. You have to go into it diagonally. Also, there's this one over here, which is pretty cool. Essentially, there's this little corner here. You stand at the edge of the corner, and you face that landing right there. And you get from tier 1 to tier 3. There's also the bridges. I don't use these. People think they're like the most useful ones, but they're not, and I'll explain why. But you can like, I think it's, the actual spot is like right here. I don't have shadows up because my computer sucks and I need higher frames, so I like keep my graphics on low. But if you have shadows, it's easier to see. So that was actually too far. So you want to get to like the corner over here. But essentially you go from tier 1 to the top like that. The reason why I don't use these is because there is a more optimal spot for you to do this at. I'll explain what that is in a second. If you go from here to here, someone can chase you really easily up here, and it takes maybe 8 seconds. Someone can also really easily blink up here. However, more useful is for you to do this spot, because it buys you a lot more time. Because a melee class is going to have to run much further. They're going to have to run all the way around here to get up to you. If you're going against a warrior or something, like a great sword hammer warrior, and you do this blink, they're just going to be like, fuck it, I can't get him, and leave you alone. And then you can very easily get over here and attack the point. This one's also like much easier to do, whereas the other one is more peculiar of a spot. What you do is you follow the stairs going diagonally. Just follow the stairs once you get to the top. Reverse and forward phase retreat. You can also dodge jump back from here to here. If like you do that jump and a thief chases you and he steals on you or Shorpo's up here, you can fight him up here and like blow him up, do some blinds and shit, and then like jump back down so he chases you back down, and then phase retreat back up, and then he's gone. You cleared yourself of the thief. Additionally, there's this spot over here, which is the equivalent of that one, and it'll get you from tier 1 to tier 3. It's really useful. There's this black crack here. You just go on top of the black crack, aim at the landing, and you're good. That one's a very easy one, but of course, practice all of these. Oh, and then you can also get up here and do some like esports ninja shit, and I'm not an esports ninja. And get up here. If my character would jump. Fuck you. There we go. This is really useful if you're a longbow ranger. Otherwise, you most of the time don't have the range to do this. However, there have been times where I've like really needed to get out and have been able to use this. Whatever. The next one I want to show you guys is the bridge here. Most people will have a pebble, and the pebble will be right here. Since I have my environment effects on low, it's this little black dot. But it's also the pebble. Stand at the pebble and phase retreat. Just forward phase retreat coming from that way, and you'll get it too. That one's really useful sometimes, but what I find more useful is this one. This isn't on meta battle. It's not on anybody else's phase retreat guide, so really practice it because it's super useful. That. How you do it is you follow the top of the stairs and you just like go along this diagonal path. Right? And the phase retreat spot is essentially at this corner, right before the diagonal crack. Super useful. If you start on red base and you go into the fight and like you see that they're stealthing and they're about to burst someone, you send your bunker guard there or your DDLE there, and then you blink back up here. And then they can't burst on you easily. It's also safer than the bridge because you're like closer to your gate, and then you can just like jump down here and blink and forward phase retreat if you need to disengage into red base. I think that's all the ones I wanted to go over on mid. So now we'll go over the ones on the quarry. There's essentially one on quarry that's really useful, and I'll show you in a second. It's also one of the easiest ones to do. Alright, you go from here to the landing up here. You follow this as like an arrow. So pretend this corner right here is like an arrow pointing you in the direction that you need to go. You follow that directly, you get a foot in front of it, so about here, and then you phase retreat. Practice this one more. I'll do it once more. So you like attack, kill your person, and then you just go diagonally up here. And you're good. And then switch to Greatsword, stun them, Phantasmal Berserker, do all your shit. You can also kite around here. And you can get over here to do some nifty kiting. This is a steal spot, so like a thief can't steal on you over here. And you can get over here and like dodge jump over here, and then keep going. Again, you want to use jumps because you can start preparing a mantra. Here, I'll show you in a second. And like jump around and stuff, and you're still going to be preparing your mantra. However, an enemy cannot jump around and keep casting their auto attack at you. This is also really good LOS, so you can attack through it, but people will attack you and miss. Very useful. So yeah, those are all the phase retreat spots that I use that are very useful for getting into neat places on Legacy. The next video I'm going to do is Temple of the Silent Storm. If you like this video, please shoot me a thumbs up or a upvote on Reddit. And yeah, subscribe, watch me on Twitch, shoot me in-game questions. My name is Lord Space Almighty. If you ever want to queue or if you want to duel, practice, scrimmage against my team, just let me know. I'm happy to help. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in Heart of the Mists.